Yewande wasn't gonna have homegirl, home slice come in thinking she's gonna take her man without a fight. And Yewande shocked me again. It's like she just keeps shocking me. She was like, no, no. What space? You want space for what? To steal my man? Hi guys, I'm Mimi Justin Me. Welcome back to my channel. Today we've got another Love Island video recap. Call it what you want, commentary. I know you guys are heavily disappointed by the fact that I don't have a face mask on today. Sorry. Kind of cute today, but I don't have good lighting. It's a bit different. I'm not at home. I'm in London, about to have a girls' night out, so lighting's not great, backdrop's not great, but we're gonna come at you with this commentary real quick. So last night's episode, we don't have an episode tonight because it's Saturday night, but last night's episode was a little bit I don't know how to feel about a few things, so let's just get into it. So Thursday night's episode, the night before last, we saw Yewande plant a heavy one on Danny, and Danny seemed to like be lapping it up. He seemed really into it. He seemed like all his hopes and dreams had come true, but it seemed like, at least from the trailer of last night's episode, it seemed like he'd gone a little bit cold by the morning, and we started to see a lot more of that on last night's episode. Now let's just quickly talk about Arabella, because there's been a lot of speculation, a lot of talk about the fact that she already has a boyfriend outside of the villa, Charlie Frederick, and she was quite shady in her movements into the villa. If you haven't seen that, go check out Murad Morali's video on it. Murad is so quick with the tea. He gives really good commentary, so if you're really into Love Island recaps, definitely go check him out. But me personally, I am not 100, in fact I'm not even a little bit convinced that like her and Charlie were that serious. We do know people really be breaking up with serious relationships before they go into Love Island because they want a shot at fame, but I'm sorry, from the text messages that I saw, I don't see a relationship. I don't see the whole she's my girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend type of situation. I'll be perfectly honest, if you go through my phone right now, you could probably find 3 guys that think that we're in a relationship, and I don't know who they think they're in a relationship with, but you know there are really people out there can be kind of confused about a situation. So I'm not really all that convinced by, you know, the text messages that Arabella and Charlie, shut up, sorry for the interruption, but I'm not that convinced that they were in a proper boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. There's people that you're dealing with and they don't want to put a label on it, they don't want to claim you until it's convenient, and I really feel like Charlie's a bit of an F-boy the way he's been going on about, you know, this whole situation. I'm really not sure that I can trust, you know, the context behind some of those text messages, but obviously everybody's entitled to their opinion. But I'm sure we've all been in the situation where somebody thinks it's far more serious than you thought it was. Clearly Arabella ain't that into him if my girl is on Love Island, let's just be real. So she's gone into the villa, she stirred things up, and we really saw it all go down tonight with her and Yewande. Let's start at the start of this video though. So we kind of saw at the end of the previous episode that Molly-Mae and Tommy got it in. They didn't really talk too much about it in this episode, but we all know that they're now the first couple that pretty much did the do on camera. Someone had to do it, why not them? I'm not judging. Yewande also said that things got a bit steamy between her and Danny in bed as well that night, that he got a bit, you know, aroused, and then he didn't know what to do with it. Clearly the attraction is genuine, clearly the boy is at least physically into her. That's all I'm saying. So at the start of the episode we saw Maura being a bit more bad mind in the confessional. We all know she's got an agenda. She genuinely doesn't believe that Yewande and Danny are going to make a legit couple. She doesn't believe they're compatible.
I really can't see Yewande and Danny working at all. He seems to want affection, and he's not going to have girls around her 24/7 to say, come on, like, touch his leg or give him a cuddle or a spoon or... Yeah, I don't know. I can't see it, but I could be wrong.
But we all know she wants to crack on with Danny, so there's reasons why she's saying the little things that she's saying to him and saying in the confessional. But I do feel like she does have a point when she said Yewande's not always going to have her friends, you know, to tell her what to do and to tell her to be affectionate. And we did kind of see a little bit of that in this episode when Yewande kind of said, right, I'm gonna go over there and be affectionate for like 3 minutes, or was it 20 minutes? I couldn't hear it properly. properly, but she literally calculated the amount of time she wanted to go over there and be affectionate with Danny.
A seduction plan of our own.
I'm gonna go down there and be affectionate for 3 minutes.
It was, I mean, come on, that was an awkward moment. It was an awkward moment. Basically, Danny and new girl Arabella were sitting down having a chat. Yewande wasn't gonna have homegirl, home slice come in thinking she's gonna take her man without a fight, and I give kudos to that. We want to see Yewande be a bit more like, no, Danny's mine, Danny's like, I'm into him. We want to see a bit more, you know, it's not affection, but we want to see a bit more like from her. Like, if you say someone you care about, like, come on, don't be moving mad, be moving mad. Thank you. We want to see some madness, and she gave us a bit of that. You know, she was like going there to like stamp her territory, but it was awkward as hell because she just went over there and just literally just plumped herself in his lap. I'm like, there's ways to be affectionate, girl, but that ain't it. Like, you should have ran that move by your love coaches, by your friends who've been giving you coaching tips. You should have ran that past them, because someone should have told you that was going to be awkward as hell, and you could literally see the awkwardness on camera.
Okay. Hey, I'll just sit on you because I want to. You're not hot enough to jump in?
Huh?
You're not hot enough to jump in
Oh,
now?
yeah, I'm almost there. Good on there.
Go on.
Good on there, man.
Go on, you want it. I was quite shocked by that behaviour.
Between Danny, like, I don't know what to do. She's just sat in my lap. I was having a conversation with Arabella, but I think it was definitely the right thing for her to do and go over there and let Arabella know, if you want to take Danny, I'm not going down without a fight. You know, I'm not just gonna let you have him. So bravo to her. So let's talk a little bit about Amy and Curtis. So we all know I've loved Curtis from day one. I know a lot of people don't like him. They feel like he's in other people's business. He's quite nosy. He's always trying to give like love coaching and counseling to everybody else in the villa. I personally, I'm all the way here for Curtis. I love a bit of Curtis. You know, I was really happy to see him and Lucy get a bit more screen time in this episode. Amy, sometimes I'm like, okay, she's cool. Other times I'm like, nah, not so much. I thought, oh, you're being a bit much. There's a fly that I will literally murder in this room. Go away, my friend. I thought, oh, she's being a bit much when she got so upset about the fact that, I get why she got upset, but the fact that Curtis gave the new girl Arabella a 10 out of 10 in the kissing game, when Curtis thought that he was kissing her and he gave her a 7. That was a rookie mistake, Curtis. Do you know why? You know, it seems like quite a trivial thing, but they have been one of the longest standing couples in the villa. You know, Joe and Lucy are gone now, so let's say they are the longest standing couple in the villa. They've literally been cracking on for 2 weeks, kissing all the time. How are you not gonna know whose tongue is being stuck down your throat after 2 weeks? Nah, Curtis, my boy, you effed up there. Didn't really like how much Amy, you know, made a meal of it though, but I loved seeing them, you know, on their date.
I don't want to go there or anything like that, so you don't ever need to compare yourself to anyone else, honestly. Because you are gorgeous, you are beautiful, and you literally, you are a star.
Thank you.
So yeah, can we sort of like rush that
Yeah,
and push it
it's
away?
done.
And you do look absolutely
Thank
stunning, you
you.
look
You look very
amazing.
nice today.
And now I feel like I can relax on
Yes.
this lovely day in this lovely place because I am with you and I really want to enjoy it.
Yes.
And like, I really feel like they are definitely going to be in the final, and they have a really good chance of winning it, because my guy Curtis is the ultimate gentleman. He made a rookie error. He totally came back with a cape on, superhero that ish, and went in for the win when he asked her to dance. That shit was romantic AF. I don't care what anybody else has to say. That was nice to see. That was nice to watch. I was literally melting. I was literally like, I want my own Curtis.
It's a special occasion. I'm going to get up and ask you if you'd like to dance with me. So yeah.
I'm all the way here for it. I do feel like he can probably do it, like he deserves a bit better than Amy, but I feel like that's just my jealousy talking. So I don't know, Amy, she could still grow on me, but at the moment it's a bit up and down, up and down. I had said before that I didn't really like Amber that much, but I do feel like since Michael's brought her out of her shell and broken down her walls, we are seeing a completely different Amber than we saw in the first week. Like, she's so nice, she's so funny, she's so outgoing, she's so bubbly, she's always smiling. Like, they have proper like good end game potential as well. I do expect to see Michael and Amber in the finale. I can't see either of their heads being turned, but yeah, Amber has most certainly grown on me. Okay, so again in the kissing competition, this was Arabella's chance, guys. This was Arabella's chance to get in with Danny and plant one on him, and nobody could say anything. Yewande definitely couldn't say anything. It was part of the challenge, and boy did my girl go for it. First of all, she's aggressive AF kissing. Damn, like she was not pulling any punches.
Like a guy that will take control of a kiss, and he was a confident, good kisser. Yeah, I think Arabella kind of went for it with Danny. This is like her perfect opportunity to get to kiss him, and I'm pretty sure this is going to be her last.
But I was like, do you not have to come up for air? What kind of long ass kiss was that? And I know, like Danny said already, that he knew it was her and he gave her an 8 out of 10. Obviously he's encouraging that flirtation from her. He's not trying to shut it down, let's be honest. He's kind of encouraging it.
When you're girl, and like it seems to be like effortless, like it has been.
Yeah.
I can't ignore that. I hide my feelings, so if it comes to it, I have to do what's right for me.
Yeah.
He's not trying to shut it down. I still do not blame him. I don't want to hear anybody saying, yeah, but after all these things he said to Yewande that his head couldn't be turned. I'm sorry, but as I said before, you starve a dog for too long, he will bite your damn hand once he sees a bit of me. And I feel like that's what's going on here. We saw it with Tommy, Maura, and, you know, Molly May. Tommy certainly had his head turned a little bit, although in the end he still chose Molly. He was entertaining Maura because he'd been starved of that affection, and he kind of wanted to show her, like, look, you don't treat me good, you got another thing coming. And I feel like Danny is kind of doing the same thing, but with Molly, Maura and Tommy, I didn't know which way Tommy's head was gonna go, and I feel like with Danny, Yewande and Arabella, I don't really know which way it's gonna go. Like, I'm hoping it's gonna be with Yewande, because my girl's really finally starting to step it up. I'm hoping it's not too late, but some of the stuff I saw in this episode made me think, ah, girl, it's too late. He is kind of encouraging that connection with, you know, Arabella. They're always talking about how they have a good connection. They do seem to have quite a lot in common as well. They always seem to be laughing and smiling when they're in each other's company. It looks quite natural, not forced, not like Yewande, who just went over there and just sat herself in his lap. Like, it does, let's be a bit honest, but I am still kind of rooting and hoping that Yewande wins Danny's heart. But we'll see how this all plays out. So yeah, that kiss was really a lot. Danny gave it an 8 out of 10. I do believe he knew for a fact, unlike Curtis, when he was kissing Yewande, and it was definitely strategic that he gave Yewande a 9 out of 10, just 1 point above what he gave Arabella. And I do think that's quite telling, that he's still letting Yewande know that you're in the lead in this race. Yes, I gave Arabella an 8, but darling, you're still getting a 9. So I do like that. So let's talk about the major part of last night's episode, when Arabella pulled Yewande for a chat. Honestly, I didn't really see that coming. Like, or maybe I did, but I do feel like the producers would have told her to put her for a chat, let's be honest. But Arabella's got guts. Like, she is not a wallflower. She knows she wants, she came in and she said she's not just after the single people. She's had her eye on Danny, and she's had her eye on Anton, and if I'm being perfectly honest, Danny's in the forefront of her mind. Fair enough, I don't believe that she should just couple up with Anton because Anton is single. No, she said that she's come in, you know, she's here to shake some tables, and my girl is definitely doing that. You can see that she's willing to fight for Danny. She pulled Yewande to the side and she was like, look, I think you're being very territorial. I want to get to know Danny. I think you need to give me that space to do so.
I just wanted to obviously like say hello to Danny thing. Just have a little catch up about that. But I just feel like last night was obviously then you guys kissed, and then today it's kind of like sitting on him and doing that. Do you not think it's literally going from like 0 to 150? And do you not think that that's going to make him feel?
No, I don't think that's going to make him feel any type of way.
And Yewande shocked me again. It's like she just keeps shocking me. She was like, no, what space? You want space for what? To steal my man? No, darling. If I want to come over when you guys are having a chat and sit in his lap, I'm going to do that. Like, she checked her. She was like, no, I'm not having it. And she really stuck up for herself. I really liked seeing that. But I do feel like Arabella was happy to give her like the benefit of the doubt, but I didn't really like the way she went about stirring the pot in that conversation. I get it, you want to come, you want to crack on with Danny, Yewande's in your way, but I thought she's a proper shit stirrer when she started going on about how Danny had told her that he felt that the affection was forced and that she'd gone from 0 to 150, and she started like retelling conversations that she'd had with Danny but putting her own spin on it. I just thought, look, when Danny was saying that to you, it didn't sound half as bad as you're making it sound to Yewande.
Today he did say that both of us can't deny there is a connection
Between you and
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so obviously from my point of view, I'm a bit like, I feel like he's telling you one thing and telling me one thing.
Yeah.
He feels like he still wants to get to know me.
Right.
And of course Yewande's gonna think, oh, how dare he be talking about mine and his relationship with this new girl. But I think Arabella knew exactly what she was doing. She's trying to create a wedge between Danny and Yewande, and honestly we could see by the end of the episode it was working. At first I thought Yewande knows better, she's not going to rise to the situation, but by the time she said that Danny says you're forcing it, girl, even I was ready to fight. I would have gone and called Danny like, you said what? And you can see at the end of the episode when Yewande is like, no, you're going to see a different side of me, I'm about to lose my shit, I'm raging. You know, you could really see that she was furious. And we're gonna see what happens with her and Danny on the next episode, but unfortunately I feel like we just have Arabella to blame for that, because she definitely was stirring the pot far more than it needed to be. She could have had that conversation with Yewande and just said, look, I want to get to know him, I need you to give us a bit more space. She didn't have to come in and start saying, well, Danny said this to me, that we have a connection, that we get along really well. She was legit trying to force a wedge, and unfortunately from the preview of the trailer it looks like she may have done so. I still have a lot of faith in my boy Danny. I have a feeling he's gonna be like, you know, the Yewande whisperer and like calm her down and reassure her, even though she was like, I don't have to reassure him, I shouldn't have to reassure him. I feel like he will probably be able to reassure her if that's what he wants to do. I still feel like he's been quite genuine with her. I still feel like the attraction for him is still there, but if Yewande starts to get very ugly in terms of her jealousy and her rage, and you know, starts like going for him, it may change his mind. You know, I still feel like he's leaning more towards her, but I think Arabella's game plan is unfortunately working. I do like the fact that she's in there and she's stirring things up and she's keeping Yewande on her toes. My girl was happy to just sit there, work on her tan, drink some pina coladas for the first 2 weeks, thinking she ain't gotta do nothing, but finally she's waking up, she's making moves. I'm here for it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this commentary. Make sure you subscribe before you go, especially if you want to get more Love Island updates. Let me know your thoughts down below. Who is going to win Danny's heart? Do you believe that his head has fully turned? Is he now completely on Arabella? If so, do you blame him? Do you feel like he went against everything he said beforehand, or do you feel like, you know what, it's fair play, Yewande didn't give him that much to work with, but maybe he might still end up with Yewande? Let me know, guys, before tomorrow night's episode, before we find out what really happens. Let me know who you think is going to come out on top, Yewande or Arabella. I'm rooting for Yewande. I'll put my money on it. Let's see how it goes. Looking good. Feeling good.